Thanks, Fred, for that trip down memory lane. I well remember a lot of those things, and certainly Watrous Motors, Jimmy Morrow and Joe Townley bought a few cars from those people over the years. I think back in those days you could buy a pretty good four-door sedan for about $2,000, as I recall. I had a 1957 Fairlane, I think it was. How times have changed. Talking about hunting brings to mind a story that George knows well. My dad, Phil Westby, and his dad, Doug, were great hunting companions, and this was quite an annual event. They spent a lot of time together in hunting season. I said about the only thing those two ever killed was a few Mickeys, because they never brought home many ducks that I could see, but maybe I missed it. Anyway, our next speaker, we've heard a lot about the old days and the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. Our next speaker is a young lady that has been in business since 2006. Her name is Shawna Hanson. Some will be well acquainted with her. She runs her operation under the name of Ms. Bojangles, operates out of the Worktown Mall, which is formerly Atlas Motors, that you heard about. So please welcome Shawna Hanson.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Shawna Hanson, and I'm a successful business owner in our community. I am the daughter of Murray and Jackie Hanson, granddaughter of Neil and Jean, and John and Kathy Fenton. I was the last generation born in the hospital here, and I graduated from Winston High School in 2002. I furthered my education at Market College in Saskatoon and returned to open Ms. Bojangles in 2006. For those of you who don't know what Ms. Bojangles is, it's a hair salon at the Mall of Main and 3rd, like you said. The building was originally Atlas Block, and it further became Mainline Motors. I started in the back where Mainline originally did their oil changes. And then I moved to the front where they had their showroom. The mall now consists of quite a few women owning the businesses, which includes Watrous Travel, Watrous 5-Pin, and then our community gym. Throughout the years, there's been many businesses and changes in the mall, as most of you guys know, and if only those walls could talk, the stories they would tell. I return to Watrous as it is a great place for recreational, personal, and business opportunity. I'm an active community member as I play hockey, volleyball, golf, and am the president of Bowling League. Owning my own business has allowed me to have the opportunity to work hard so I can play harder as I tick things off my bucket list. Watrous is a wonderful community to live in and raise your family, with a lot of business potential. I am forever grateful to my clients, because without you, I wouldn't be asked to speak here today. And I am so proud to say that I've joined the ranks of many successful women, of Watrous women, I should say, that include the clothing stores, flower shop, travel agency, restaurants, real estate, massage therapist, pharmacy, health food store, jewelry store, hair salons, accountants, now car dealership, animal hospital, dentist, bowling alley, and the many countless home-based businesses. So, go women, thank you for having me here today, and have a safe and good time at 150. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Shawna. There's an example of a young person who knows what she's going to do and gets it done. So, thank you. I would like to draw your attention, if you haven't already seen it, to the constant display of pictures that have been on the screen over there. Brandon Bertram, are you here, Brandon? Anyway, Brandon has assembled all these pictures from the material that's available, and that has been playing constantly. So I don't know if you leave it on. We're going to leave it on through the supper, Brandon. I think you should, because you know, certainly there's lots of interesting photos there, and you people back over there won't even be able to see it. So take a minute, and it can just keep running. Okay, for our final speaker and wind up, I'm going to thank all the speakers that have come forth and talked, and it's been I think it's been a long afternoon, but it's been interesting, I hope. And to wind things up, I'll call on Lionel Sproule. Lionel.
It'll be short because I know that it's past beer time already. Just a couple of things. I was going to take some time and talk about Manitou Beach, but instead I'm going to just simply draw to your attention that if you look at the prairies in Canada, the prairies in the United States, there's one outstanding community because of the water that's in the lake, and that's Manitou Beach. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of farm towns, but there's only one Manitou Beach. Not another lake in the country comes close to matching it. And aren't we lucky that it's with us? And there's been several such things in this town. The CBK Tower was a perfect example. Much of that will be forgotten. Much of what happened can be forgotten. CBK will fade. The tower will remain. The building will be gone. CBK houses were part of this town. Manitou Lake was part of this town. And we've been really fortunate. Over 40 years ago, a group of people decided that there should be a history of Watrous. And you've heard it referred to at least 8 or 10 times so far in this discussion, and that's Prairie Reflections. And in the years since that was published, there's been numerous suggestions to the people who published that one to do another one. And it's not going to happen. I should point out to you that of the people who did that book, I think only 2 remain. And I think they're both here today. Lois Federal was here, I think. She may have run out to the beer tent, I don't know. Right? Lois is over there. Lois Federal, one of the original ones. And the other one is my wife, Jean. Attaboy. Yeah. Oh, I remember them all. They've all passed on since, yes. It was no small feat. It's been no small feat since then. I don't know, I couldn't begin to tell you how many times people have said to me, I still read Prairie Reflections. I spend time reading it. Well, we haven't got Prairie Reflections number 2. And it's not going to happen, certainly not in my house anymore. We spent a lot of years with that, believe me. But it is going to happen in another way, in another fashion. And so I'm just simply going to remind you once again that the Heritage Committee is hard at work. As Kathy has pointed out to me, Kathy Bergen pointed out to me, we've been over 5 years now working at doing this. This stuff doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen easily. But it happens, and it's going to happen here. We have produced some souvenir calendars. I don't know whether you saw them or not, but take time We would like to sell you a souvenir calendar. It's a way for us to raise some money for this. But most of all, it's a souvenir of Canada's 150th birthday at Watrous. Thank you.
This is unplanned, but I want to thank Murray and Lionel for taking on that task, and all of the rest of our speakers. We did learn a lot here today, and now we're hungry. We've had knowledge, now we're hungry for food. So supper is going to start. I don't really know what time it is, but I think it's getting close to 5. So when you line up, first of all, if you don't have a ticket yet and you really still want one, they are for sale in there. Doug Gregory has them in the glassed area. When you do start getting ready for food, and it's not quite ready yet, but Lane will let us know when you do go into the food line, there's a bit of an alley or whatever created along there that you'll walk along until you get to the ticket takers, which is Lonnie. And who's that? Is that Bob? Lonnie and Bob. And they'll take your ticket. Then you get into the food area, and there's the beef, the salads, the desserts. Come over here, get your drink, sit down, eat, and then visit. Don't forget to refresh your drinks in the beer tent because they're waiting for you to come back. And the 50-50 will be drawn for just at the end of the supper time, like the supper hour, which is 2 hours, but the supper hour. So around 7 o'clock, that draw will be made. It's hundreds of dollars right now, like 500, 600, maybe 7. So the more tickets you buy, the bigger that'll be. And that would be your half, 500, 600, 700, like not half of that. So buy a ticket if you need it for supper, buy 50-50. When Lane says, line up over there. Thanks again to our speakers. Go get a drink. Oh, wait a minute, wait. Oh, there's entertainment in the beer garden.
This isn't the speak. It's going to be entertainment too. You're in it too, whether you know or not. You know, I don't know. As far as I know, there hasn't been any song for the 150th, but we had a dandy for the 100, and I think you all know it. If you don't, it's not hard to learn. And we'll go. A 1 and a 2 and a 3. Canada, we love thee. Canada, proud and free.
Shall we come up?
North, south, east, west, there'll be happy times. Church bells will ring, a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. It's the 150th anniversary of Confederation. Everybody sing!
Always wish that we learned that song in school. Our grade never learned it, so that's why I couldn't sing it. Anyway, thanks, Vern.